If it's Thursday night, say yeah, for it's another all new edition of Strictly Sports College Football Thursday. Hello, friends. Anthony Fleur here with you for another edition of Strictly Sports College Football Thursday, Week 4. So glad to have you with us. Good old MF Michael Fletcher here, along with me here. Of course, Michael Bullock, I'm not sure where he is. He's probably out late somewhere, as he usually is. So if he does show up, we'll catch him up on what he missed when he comes in. Otherwise, we'll just take it from there. So already in week 4 of this college football season, we got a lot to get to. So let's not waste any time. Let's try to go as quick as we can here, because we got commitments, So 21 games altogether, and we have 2 tomorrow and 19 on Saturday. So with all that being said, here we go. Let's start it off. Tomorrow night, the number 16 UCF Knights will be at home at Spectrum Stadium hosting the Florida Atlantic Owls, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. And on the call for that one is going to be Jason Benetti with Kelly Stufer and Olivia Decker. And UCF, a 13.5 to 14-point favorite. The in-state clash is a battle for early Group of 5 supremacy, although Hurricane Florence sidelined UCF in Week 3. Quarterback Mackenzie Milton and company should have little trouble picking apart an FAU defense that's allowing 39.3 points a game. FAU will keep it close, but the Knights have a clear advantage, plus home field. I have UCF winning. My final score, 41-30. Nothing more to say. MF, UCF opening up tomorrow night against Florida Atlantic.
I agree with you. UCF has been definitely looking pretty good up to this point. They've dominated early in the scope of things, and I truly believe that they are the better team. So yes, I agree, Anthony. UCF should win this game pretty handily, with no problems, at least by 2 touchdowns. Nothing more than that. Anthony, go on to the next game.
And it's the other Friday night game tomorrow night. The number 10 Penn State Nittany Lions squaring off against the Fighting Illini of Illinois at Memorial Stadium in Champaign, 9 o'clock Eastern on FS1. Justin Kutcher, Petros Papadakis, and DeMarco Murray will be on the call. Penn State, a 27.5 to 28-point favorite. MF last week, Penn State, they went back to the basics and they put a whooping on Dolph Ziggler's alma mater, Kent State.
Well, they needed to do that because they almost embarrassed themselves a couple of weeks ago when they played against Appalachia State. And come in, at the end of the day, this was an easy game for them. I think they learned their lesson after that game. They almost got ridiculed and torn apart by the media and everybody else. So now Penn State looks like they're focused on the job at hand. They're focused on trying to get the job done and to dominate the scale of play in the whole 9 yards. So no, I think Penn State should win this one going away. Illinois is not really that strong of a team, and I think Penn State will definitely rebound and get the win here. So give me Penn State to win it. Nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Illinois squandered a 12-point fourth quarter lead in a loss to South Florida. That letdown means the Illini won't have a chance at 4-1 since Penn State and its now cruising offense heads to Champaign. Trace McSorley has accounted for 8 touchdowns over the last 2 games and won't slow down tomorrow night. I got Penn State as well. I got them easy. I say 45-17. That's my final there. So now let's get into the Saturday action. High noon on ESPN, we kick it off with the number 2 Maiden Georgia Bulldogs squaring off against the Missouri Tigers. One of our top games of the week here. Memorial Stadium at Forot Field in Columbia, Missouri. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay will be on the call. Georgia opening up as a 14 to 15-point favorite. So, though it's only week 4, Georgia could take command of the SEC East. Florida already has a loss. Kentucky takes on number 14 Mississippi State this weekend. And Missouri could drop its SEC opener. The Tigers have the firepower to compete with the Bulldogs, but a defense that ceded 37 points to Purdue will be its downfall. So I'm going with the Maine and Georgia Bulldogs. It's going to be a good one, though. 45-31, Georgia over Missouri. Nothing more to say. MF, one of our top games of the week.
Top games of the week, no doubt about it, but Georgia's been rolling. Georgia looks like that team they're possessed. You know, like I said, they had that taste of the national championship a few back in January, and they are determined to get back to the playoffs and to get back to that national title game, and this time to win it. So no doubt about it, they've been playing ridiculous. They've been playing out of their minds lately, and I truly believe that they will win this game, and not only win this game handily, but win this game going away. So no doubt about it, I truly believe it's going to happen. Georgia wins. Anthony, on to the next one.
And you'll start it off, MF. And here's another one of our top games of the week. I could put this in a sleeper category here. High noon on ABC. My team, the number 8, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, squaring off against the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest at BB&T Field in Winston-Salem. Sean McDonough, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe will have the call on that one. And Notre Dame opening up as a 7 to 7.5 point favorite. MF, 3 weeks, 3 close victories for Notre Dame. Do I hear 4?
Yes. You're going to get the 4th. Notre Dame's looking really good. Yeah, they've been tight games because the defense has really stood on their heads, and they've really played some great football, especially towards the end. So at the end of the day, is it going to be the perfect victory? Are they going to win it? No, not necessarily, but I truly believe they'll get the job done. So for me, I definitely going to say I got Notre Dame winning this one. I think it's going to be another tight one. I think it's going to be another close one. 28-21. The Fighting Irish will win and remain undefeated. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Of course it's Notre Dame. I mean, I'll be honest. Eventually, Notre Dame's luck will run out. That shouldn't happen Saturday opposite Wake Forest, especially if the Demon Deacons play quarterback roulette as Kendall Hinton returns from a 3-game suspension for a violation of team rules. Nevertheless, the Irish remain a problematic work in progress on offense, even if they have enough to top Wake. So I agree with you, MF. I got Notre Dame as well. My final score, 27-17, Notre Dame over Wake Forest. Make it 4 in a row for the Irish. And we move on. We go from my team to MF's team. High noon on FS1. The Big House in Michigan and Ann Arbor. The number 19 Michigan Wolverines squaring off against the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 2 of the all-time great programs in the history of the sport. Although this matchup might not be as attractive as one would think. It's going to be Tim Brando with Spencer Tillman and Holly Saunders. They will be in the Big House for Nebraska and Michigan. Michigan opening up as a 17.5 point favorite. Michigan will win. But if Nebraska quarterback Adrian Martinez's leg is healthy, the Wolverines won't throttle the Huskers. The big question is how quickly Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh is willing to stray from his power run preference if Michigan keeps slamming into the line unsuccessfully. Let quarterback Shea Patterson do his thing, coach. That's all I got to say on that. So I'm going with Michigan to win. My final score, 31-17. MF, Nebraska, and Michigan. On paper, not the most attractive matchup, but when you think about the lineage of both of these teams, it'll definitely conjure up some great memories.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Michigan and Nebraska, as you remember, ended up being co-national champions. I believe in 1997, both of them got a piece of the national championship, which actually entailed to trigger what at the time the BCS. So because of Nebraska and Michigan getting a piece of the national championship, that actually led to create the Bowl Championship Series, which in turn created the college football playoffs. So really, if it wasn't for them being co-champions, we never would have had this great system that we have now. Now, I know a lot of people were very down on the BCS. Derek was. I know I had a couple of years where I was griping about the BCS, the Bowl Championship Series, and the way that they were handling it. But at the end of the day, I loved the body of work. I loved what it brought because we had compelling matchups. Obviously, the Maize and Blue are definitely trying to turn things around now. I mean, two impressive victories, two real good victories, but these were not really quality teams. Unlike with Notre Dame, the game that we lost, we had an opportunity where we could have won that. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot at the end, and it cost us. But with Nebraska, look, I'm gonna say it right now. Give time for Nebraska, guys. I know it's early in the season. Adam Frost is really like he I don't know if it's just maybe it's because he doesn't have the right players yet, because remember, he's getting a team inherited. These are not his guys. These are guys from the previous administration, and I don't think it's working at the moment. So you kind of got that thing going on right now, and it's kind of a little bit of a tough thing to do. But at the end of the day, Michigan should win this because, like you said, last week was a complete effort. They got a touchdown from the defense. They got some big runs, big touchdown. Shea Patterson finally looks like he's starting to become on his own to Michigan. So, give it time. It's working. But again, I think any other time I was very high on Nebraska thinking, man, this could be promising. They haven't delivered yet. I think Michigan will win this one, so I got nothing more to say. Anthony, let's move on to the next game.
Let's move on to one of the most surprising teams in college football this year at this point. The number 23 Boston College Eagles squaring off against the Purdue Boilermakers at Ross-Ade Stadium in Purdue. High noon on ESPN2. It's the last high noon kickoff. Boston College opening up as 7 to 7.5 point favorites. And we've got Anish Shroff and Ahmad Brooks on the call for ESPN2. So, MF, I mean, how about Boston College? What's going on with them? Number 23? Wow.
Well, no, and the thing is that they've been winning the games. They've been proving their might. And right now, yeah, like you said, they are one of those teams out there that you got to keep a close eye on. Right now, they're playing great football. Up to this point, they're definitely it's working. So no, Boston College is playing great. They haven't, and the thing is that the way they've been winning, they've been doing it the right way. And a lot of people were very high on Boston College because it looks like their underclassmen is starting to rise up, so now they're not underclassmen, now they're sophomores, they're juniors, the seniors are delivering. So they got a nice little thing going on right now, and they're slowly but surely working their way up in the ACC picture. Now, are they going to be one of the favorites? I don't think so. I mean, you got to deal with Clemson. You got to deal with Tech. Obviously, Florida State is a down year. You got Virginia Tech. I don't think is going to be a major threat this time around. But at the end of the day, we got to see what happens, and we'll wait and see. But from what I've seen, I like what I've been seeing lately. So nothing more to say. Boston College wins. Anthony, it's yours.
Purdue has dropped its first 3 contests by a combined 8 points. This contest should be much closer than the record suggests. Granted, that won't matter if the Boilermakers continue their poor showings against the pass. They rank 121st nationally in yards allowed a game. Through the air, and Boston College signal caller Anthony Brown has been wonderfully efficient so far. So I agree, MF. I got Boston College as well. I'm going to go 38-27. That's my score for that. So now we move on to the late afternoon affairs, the 3:30 kickoffs. And what a way to start it off. You can make an argument, number 2 game of the week right here. The SEC on CBS. The number 1 reigning and defending undisputed national champion Alabama Crimson Tide, squaring off against the number 22 Texas A&M Aggies at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl on the call, and Bama opening up as a 26-point favorite. Oh, man. Nothing much to say here. I mean, truth number one, Jimbo Fisher has helped Texas A&M exceed expectations. Truth number two, Alabama is out of the Aggies league. Without question, A&M showed its ability by nearly taking Clemson to overtime in the 28-26 loss. Still, Crimson Tide quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is playing on a whole nother level, and Alabama just held a powerful Ole Miss attack to 248 yards. Bama wins, final score 42-21. Nothing more to say. MF, number 2 game of the week, A&M against Auburn, Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban. Wow.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is gonna be a great matchup, and the thing is that Alabama's just they're poised. It's like they're not intimidated at all on what they do. The whole 9 yards. I think they're gonna win this game. There's no doubt about it. Bama should win this by at least 2 to 3 touchdowns. I have not seen any threat or any problem whatsoever. So nothing more to say. Bama wins. Anthony, it's yours.
And next up, we have the number 3 Clemson Tigers squaring off against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field on ABC. And on the call for this one will be Mark Jones with Dusty Dvoracek and Molly McGrath. And trying to find the odds here. Clemson opening up as a 14.5 to 16-point favorite. MF, I mean, Clemson back to basics in an easy win against a soft opponent. Opening up conference play against G-Tech.
And I believe Clemson will win this one. They again, another one of those teams that I really like to see. I've been very high on Clemson. Anthony knows that for the last few years. The year that they came dangerously close to the national championship, then they finally did get the national title. Now that, and I think they're poised for yet another playoff run. Right now, they've been very high, very impressive to say the very least. So no, for me, I got nothing bad to say. I love the body of work. I love what I've been seeing lately. So yep. I'm going to go with Clemson to win. Nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Clemson has showed a few worrying signs on offense over the last 2 weekends, but the run defense is as strong as anticipated. The Tigers are ceding a mere 2.1 yards attempt and held triple option attack Georgia Southern to 80 last week. Without a healthy Taquan Marshall with a toe injury, Georgia Tech has no chance. They don't have a shot. Clemson, easy, 33-10. Nothing more to say. Let's move on. Another 3:30 matchup. The number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes at home in the Horseshoe, squaring off against the Green Wave of Tulane. This will be on the Big Ten Network, and we got Kevin Kugler, Matt Millen, and Rick Pizzo on the call, and Ohio State opening up as a 37-38 point favorite. Urban Meyer returns from his 3-game suspension in what should be an easy triumph for Ohio State. Tulane is improving as a program, but 3 straight games with 5+ yards allowed a snap suggest a non-competitive outing in Columbus. So short and sweet, Ohio State big, 58-17. Nothing more to say. MF, Urban Meyer returns, much to your chagrin. But it's going to be an easy one against Tulane.
Yeah, it should be an easy one against Tulane, no doubt about it. I don't think there's going to be no threat whatsoever. So I hope everything goes well, and good luck, Urban Meyer. But this should be an easy game. So
all set?
Yeah, all set. It's yours.
Okay. Yep. All right. Just wanted to be sure on that. All right, moving on to our next 3:30 matchup. This one on ESPN. The number 12 West Virginia Mountaineers squaring off against the Kansas State Wildcats at Mountaineer Field at Milan Puskar Stadium. This one on ESPN. And we got Clay Madvik with Dan Orlovsky and Paul Carcatira. They will be on the call. And looking at the spread favors West Virginia by 16. So MF, I believe it is UMF. K-State, West Virginia. West Virginia opening up conference play against, a solid K-State team at home.
Yeah, they are, and I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to be a great game. And I kind of feel like right now, and I'm going to be real honest with you, it's kind of one of those where you just don't know what to expect, especially going into this week. But I kind of got a good feeling about West Virginia. I mean, the way they've been playing and everything else, even though K-State is dangerous because they are 2-1, but they did suffer a loss early in the year when they lost to Mississippi State. But let me tell you, you always got to keep a watchful eye. You always got to be careful with what can happen. An upset can occur at any moment. But I'm pretty sure K-State, or I should say K-State, will probably be valiant. They're going to give them a little bit of some fits. But at the end of the day, I think West Virginia is just too good. Defensively, they are wicked good. I just believe that they're going to be definitely a lot more of a threat than anything else. I mean, they started out the first two games very well, no problem. And then, look, they also had 2 weeks to prepare because if you remember, they were supposed to play NCSU, but the game got postponed due to Hurricane Florence. So they've had 2 weeks to prepare. And let me tell you, when you have a bye week or you had that kind of time off, you're chomping at the bit to get your hands on somebody. And I think that's going to be that kind of situation. They're chomping at the bit. They want to play. They can't wait to get out on the field and just hit somebody. And I think they're going to be hitting pretty hard. So West Virginia should win this one. I got really nothing more to say with that. So, Anthony, I just give it right to you.
If this contest were in Manhattan, Kansas, we're in Manhattan, Kansas State would be a trendy or upset pick. West Virginia might encounter a slow start offensively since it didn't play last week, but eventually Will Grier and company will create too much distance on the scoreboard for a methodical K-State offense to overcome. So I agree with you, MF. I got West Virginia winning as well. My final score, 34-20, West Virginia over K-State. So move on to another 3:30 matchup. This one on the CBS Sports Network. The number 13 Virginia Tech Hokies squaring off against the Old Dominion Monarchs. Foreman Field at SB Ballard Stadium. This one on the CBS Sports Network, like I said. And we got Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, and John Schriffen on the call. And let me see. Virginia Tech opening up as a 27-28 point favorite. And Old Dominion is not having a good season. The Monarchs rank 104th and 110th against the run and pass, respectively, and they've scored no more than 25 points in a game. Hosting Virginia Tech is a neat story for Old Dominion, but the Hokies are too talented to lose this. So, short and sweet, to the point, Virginia Tech, easy win, 45-10. Vatek over Old Dominion. Nothing more to say. MF, we got another easy one here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Vatek, easy win for us. Nothing really more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, let's move on. And let's see who's next up on the docket. It is the U. MF's other team, the U. The number 21 Miami Hurricanes at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. They're going to be hosting the Golden Panthers of FIU, Florida International. ESPN 2, 3:30. It'll be Kevin Brown with Andre Ware on the call. And Miami opening up as 26-26.5 point favorites. MF, I mean, we'll start it with you here, and then I'll catch Bullock up. So I smell another easy win for the U here.
Yeah, they went up against Toledo. That game was a little more rougher than expected. I think a lot of people thought that they were going to handle it pretty well, and they started out really good, and then the next thing you know, it just everything went south. So right towards the end of the game, everything was looking good for them, and then it kind of turned all over the place. So. At the end of the day, it was awesome. Congratulations, and the U looked great. So what are they gonna do on on Saturday against FIU? Whenever they play against FIU, they blow them out. But the one thing I gotta say is tempers normally flare in this game. So hopefully we don't have any incidences with the game, because I know in the past there's been a fight or two that's breaking out with these two teams. So we'll see what happens, but Miami should win this game pretty handily. So nothing more to say. Anthony, I hand it to you so that you can catch up on Michael Bullock.
Yeah, Bullock, come on in. Let's catch you up rapid fire style. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Number 16, UCF at home against Florida Atlantic.
Oh, I got UCF winning the game.
Number 10, Penn State against Illinois.
Oh, I got Penn State winning this.
Number 2, Georgia against Missouri.
The Maine and Georgia Bulldogs.
Number 8, Notre Dame against Wake Forest.
Oh, I'm going with your team, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Nebraska against number 19, Michigan.
All I can say is it's going to be my team, the Michigan Wolverines, baby.
How about your other team, number 23, Boston College against Purdue?
Wow, I mean, I don't think anybody saw this coming from the BC Eagles to be ranked in the top 25. So until I see otherwise, I have to go with the BC Eagles.
Our number 2 game of the week, courtesy of the SEC on CBS, the number 22 Texas A&M against number 1 Alabama.
I think, well, here's the thing. I mean, like you guys probably mentioned, I mean, Alabama can't, I mean, they just need to just do their job, because if they don't, I smell an upset here, but I think Alabama should do their job and beat Texas A&M, but somehow I would not be surprised if Texas A&M pulls the upset.
We would all be surprised if they were to do that. Number 3, Clemson, squaring off against Georgia Tech.
I got the Clemson Tigers winning this.
Tulane against number 4, Ohio State, the return of Urban Meyer.
Oh, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes, but I'll tell you what, in the last week's game against TCU, they had a little bit of a fight at the beginning, but in the end, they ended up pulling away, and yeah, now they finished the 3 games undefeated, and I expect them to win the first game with Urban Meyer back.
Kansas State against number 12, West Virginia.
I got number 12, West Virginia, winning this one.
Number 13, Virginia Tech against Old Dominion.
I got the Hokies winning this one.
And the game that we just started getting into, MF led off on it, and now we're going to get your thoughts on it. Number 21, Miami, the U, at home against Florida International.
All I can say is I got the Hurricanes winning this one.
All right, so that catches you up, and now I'm going to give you my quick thought on it. When the running game disappears, can Florida International handle Miami's pass rush? FIU's James Morgan isn't a mobile quarterback, and the Hurricanes have consistently collapsed the pocket this season. The crosstown clash shouldn't be much of a contest. The U all the way. I got the U 52-14. Nothing more to say. We move on. Another one of our top games of the week, courtesy of Fox, 4:30 kickoff. The number 17 TCU Horned Frogs against the Texas Longhorns. Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium at Jameel Field in Austin. On the call for Fox will be Joe Davis, Brady Quinn, and Bruce Feldman. And TCU opening up as 3 to 3.5 point favorites. Bullock, we're going to start it with you. Number 17 TCU against Texas. One of our top games of the week. Not the game of the week, but one of our top games of the week. TCU against Texas. Bullock, you start it. Bullock, are you with us?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What are we talking about now?
Number 17 TCU in Texas.
All right. Yeah, I mean TCU. I mean, obviously they had a tough loss against Ohio State, but I mean in the beginning they gave them some fits, and I thought this had the making of an upset, but in the end they just couldn't get the job done. I mean, I think TCU is going to bounce back and we'll have no problem here. So give me the TCU Horned Frogs, and I'm sorry. I mean, I was just into this. Of course, obviously, you just know now the Red Sox have won their third consecutive AL East division title. So nothing more to say. Flory, what's yours?
And they did it in the stadium. Oh, that's insult to injury right there. That's insult to injury.
Well, let's just say it was a little bit of a sweet celebration this time, because remember when they won the first of their three consecutive AL East titles, they had already won it, but in the end they end up losing to the Yankees. So
that's true, but nonetheless, congratulations to the Red Sox winning the AL East. 104 wins. I mean, more power to them. They are going to be such a tough out. That's all I'm going to say. But right now, we'll get into that down the road. But as far as this is concerned, Draymond Jones, Ohio State defensive tackle, he said, and I quote, following the game last week, probably the fastest team I ever played since I've been in college. That's what he said of TCU following Ohio State's win over the Horned Frogs, per Drew Davison of the Star-Telegram. Texas is confident after crushing USC 37-14, but TCU's speed will provide the difference in a tighter game than the margin will show. I'm going with TCU as well. I agree with you, Bullock. 34-24, TCU over Texas. MF, another one of our games of the week. Number 17, TCU against Texas. Can Texas beat another big-time opponent after what they did to SC? I mean, who would have thought Texas would have crushed SC the way they did? Wow.
Oh, that I don't think none of us saw that coming. Texas actually, they played the perfect game. They absolutely needed that game. They did it. They won it. Congratulations to them. Now you're going up against a TCU team that's kind of free falling after getting, I'm not going to say crushed, but they did lose to Ohio State. That was a gallant effort. They were very gamed, but at the end of the day, it was just not enough for them. Really nothing else to say. So I'm going to say I think Texas is going to keep the hot hand. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to pull off yet another upset here. So I got them beating TCU. This is going to be a tough game, though. 31-28. Texas over TCU. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
He led off, so
sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we move on. We move on to a 6:00 kickoff in the top 25 for the first time this season. The number 25 BYU Cougars at home at Lavelle Edwards Stadium. They're going to be hosting the Cowboys of McNeese State. This is going to be broadcast on BYU TV or ESPN3. We got Dave McCann with Blaine Fowler and Lauren McLean. They will have the call. And I do not have a spread for this game, but you would have to imagine BYU's got to be a sizable favorite here. I mean, surely not lacking confidence after an upset of Wisconsin. BYU will host a feisty FCS school. However, McNeese State has not run the ball effectively, and it'd be stunning if that changed. The Cougars will avoid a letdown if the secondary continues preventing big plays. So I got BYU, easy win, 34-13 over McNeese State. Nothing more to say, MF. BYU coming home after one of their biggest wins in recent memory, stealing one in Camp Randall. That's another one we didn't see coming.
Yeah, obviously, no doubt about it. BYU's looking really good, man. There's really nothing more to say about that. I totally agree. I think they are gonna win it as well. So yeah, give me BYU. Nothing more. Mike Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming. I mean, BYU going into Camp Randall and beating Wisconsin. Whew. I mean, I don't think any of us had this team winning, but give BYU credit. They went in and they basically took out Wisconsin. So because of that, they're in the top 25. And can they carry that momentum into this one? I think they will. So BYU wins this one. So uh, I give it to you, Florio.
And we move on to the primetime games, gentlemen. 7 o'clock kickoff on FSN pay-per-view or Sooners Sports Television. It's going to be the number 5 Oklahoma Sooners at home at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium against the Army. The Army's coming to town. Brendan Burke, Gary Reasons, CT Steckel on the call, and Oklahoma a 31-point favorite. MF, we started with you. Oklahoma back at home after a great win against Iowa State. They got revenge on Iowa State after that upset they pulled last year, but they're back at home and they got the Army coming in.
Yeah, and I truly believe that Oklahoma should get the job done very handily. Army, but don't underestimate Army, man. Army can do some damage. You know, they got a really good run attack. Oklahoma's gonna have to be very good, very stout, very sound on the defense because of the fact that Army can pull some upsets here. So I think Army can do it. We'll just have to see there. Nothing more to say about that. But I got Oklahoma winning this one pretty handily, no problem. Yep. Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I got the Oklahoma Sooners winning this one as well. I mean, yeah. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So I give it to you, Florio.
Although the Black Knights limited a rolling Hawaii offense to 362 yards last week, repeating it opposite Oklahoma will be a different story. Quarterback Kyler Murray and the Sooners have too much explosiveness to be silenced in Norman. Easy win for Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner, 48-14 over the Army. Nothing more to say. Let's move on to our next matchup. Another 7 o'clock kickoff. The number 6 LSU Tigers back home at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. They're going to be squaring off against the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. This game will be on ESPN University. Mike Cousins and Kirk Morrison on the call. LSU a 20.5 to 21-point favorite. I believe it's Bullock who starts it off. So the Bullock, LSU, coming off that huge win over Auburn last week. They're at home now against a soft opponent in Louisiana Tech. Can they keep their momentum going? Bullock, we started with you here.
Oh, yeah, I accidentally muted it. So yeah, I mean LSU. I mean, basically beating the Auburn Tigers. I mean, what a win for that squad for Ed Orgeron and his team. So yeah, I expect them to carry this momentum into this one, and they should have no problem with Louisiana Tech here. So nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
Perhaps there's a risk that LSU will relax too much in the early moments, but Louisiana Tech would need a perfect day on offense to pull an upset. 4 turnovers from the Bulldogs in 2 previous games suggest that's not a likely result, however. So nothing more to say. I got LSU 27-13 over Louisiana Tech. MF, can LSU keep that momentum going after that big win over Auburn?
Yes, they will. I got no doubt about it. They beat Miami handily. They beat Auburn, stunned them last week. I think they got the makings of something really special going on right now over in Baton Rouge, and I think they will get the job done again. Yes, LSU wins. Nothing more to say. Let's move on.
And we move on to another 7 o'clock kickoff and another one of our top games of the week in the SEC. Number 14, Mississippi State Bulldogs squaring off against the surprising Kentucky Wildcats. Kroger Field in Frankfort, Kentucky. ESPN2 is where we'll have this one. Beth Mowins, Anthony Becht, and Rocky Boyman on the call. And the spread favors Mississippi State. Mississippi State opening up as a 9.5-point favorite. Kentucky has done a commendable job of bending yet not breaking defensively. The Wildcats haven't ceded a gain of 40-plus yards, but have allowed a 46.8 third down conversion rate. Mississippi State, however, leads the nation in 20-plus yard plays. The Wildcats will probably find they're bending too much Saturday night. So I love Kentucky. I'm loving what they're doing, but I just think Mississippi State's too good. So I got to go with Mississippi State in this one. 38-24 over a game Kentucky team. MF, I mean, another one of our sleeper games of the week. Mississippi State, we know what they're capable of, but how about Kentucky? They're 3-0.
Surprise. Definitely a surprise. They're looking really good lately. The one question I think a lot of people are going to have in mind when it comes to Kentucky is, can they keep that up? Can they keep the momentum going? Can they make a big run here? So far, so good. But now you're going up against a really good team. Can they really make a big run here at the end? I think Kentucky can. I think it's going to be a tough game, but they got the hot hand. They're doing great lately. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to get the job done, and they're going to win this game. So for me, I agree. I think Kentucky will find yet another way to win. It ain't going to be pretty, but my final score is I think the final score is going to be 24-17, but I think Kentucky is going to get the job done. So Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I got Mississippi State winning this one as well. So, yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's move on to the next game.
And that next game will be at 7 o'clock as well. This one on FS1. The number 15 Oklahoma State Cowboys at home at Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater. They're going to be squaring off against the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. FS1 will have the game. Brian Custer, Ben Lieber will have the call. And Oklahoma State opening up as 2 touchdown favorites, 14 points. So, MF, we started with you. I'm sorry to say, man, I know how much you love your defense. This ain't going to be no 6'3", 9'6" defensive battle for you. Oh, no. This is going to be a 4-hour slugfest in Stillwater. MF. Offense galore, man. My specialty. MF, we're starting this one with you here. Texas Tech.
Bless you there. Fletch.
I don't know if he stepped away for a minute, but Texas Tech is squaring off against Oklahoma State in Stillwater. All right. I guess we'll have to give it to you, Bullock. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. That's MF. Okay. MF, like I was trying to say, this ain't going to be no defensive battle for you. This is going to be a shootout for me, a 4-hour slugfest.
Yeah, and we're talking about Texas Tech and
Oklahoma State.
And Oklahoma State, yeah, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State definitely is proven to be a good team. Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys to win this game. I just like them at home. So yeah, give me Oklahoma State to win it. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, yeah, I got Oklahoma State winning this one as well. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. I'm just gonna give it to you, Florio.
You ready for a 4-hour point test? Both offenses are averaging at least 50, so there will be plenty of scoring in this Big 12 clash. However, Oklahoma State's 32 tackles for loss indicates Texas Tech needs to handle pressure all night. And where there is pressure, there are game-defining mistakes, but still lots of points. Oklahoma State wins. Get ready for the score. I'm calling for a basketball score here. 62-50, Oklahoma State over Texas Tech. Oh boy, that's going to be so much fun for me to watch. You know how much I love offensive shootouts. So we move on. 7:30 kickoff on the SEC network. And we have a female Buddy Bowl going up here. State of Sorrel's Arkansas Razorbacks against Lindsey McCormick's number 9 Auburn Tigers, Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. This will be on the SEC network. And on the call for that will be Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kubelik. And the spread, no surprise, it favors Auburn, 29.5-30. I believe it's Bullock who starts it off. So, Bullock, I think we're going to go with Lindsey McCormick and Auburn over State of Sorrel and Arkansas. I got a feeling the hard times are going to continue for Arkansas here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's hard times. It's going to continue to come for Arkansas. I mean, Auburn. Is probably still fuming after a 22-21 loss to LSU, and yeah, I expect this to be a blowout. They should have no problem and bounce back in a big way. So I'm just gonna give it to you, Florio, as I got the Auburn Tigers winning this one.
The collapse at Colorado State began Arkansas's brutal 5-week stretch in a demoralizing way. Now, after an unsurprising loss to North Texas, the Razorbacks will take on Auburn, Texas A&M, and Alabama. With a turnover-prone offense, Arkansas won't surprise a terrific Auburn team. Auburn in a rout, 38-10, all Auburn all the time. And MF, a sign of bad things to come for Arkansas. What happened last week against North Texas? What in the world was that? You sent me that video on the Facebook, and we were wondering what Sorrel was thinking. Oh boy, if that's not a sign of hard times for Arkansas, what is?
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It was one of the most weirdest plays I ever seen in the history of football. College or pros, I've never ever seen a thing like that. But let me say, that's why you always play to the whistle. And the thing is, you're thinking in that instance that, this is easy. They're probably going to call for he probably called for a fair catch, doesn't want to get himself in trouble, and you go from there. Well, no, they didn't call fair catch, and you thought he did, and he actually did not, and thus paid not only the ultimate price, but boy, gave us, that's a not top 10 play whatsoever. You can say whatever you want to say. That was definitely an unbelievable situation, but, nothing more to say. That was it was incredible. So yeah, nothing more. Awesome job. Well done. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't think this is gonna be a good game. Arkansas is just I don't know. I don't know, man. I think Arkansas is not gonna win this one. Obviously not. I just I don't know. I wish I had a little more faith in them, but I don't think none of us has any more faith in Arkansas, especially after that kind of I don't want to call it dipsy do botcharoo, but it was. Come on, let's be realistic here. And now you're going up against Auburn. Yeah, nope, sorry. Auburn crushes them. State of Sorrel is gonna lose to Lindsey McCormick. Sorry, love. Mike did Bullock lead off, or do I have to hand it to him?
No, he led off.
Yeah, I already talked about it. So
okay,
we're just moving on.
It's game of the week.
Indeed, but yeah, I feel bad for Sorrel because Sorrel was actually there. she actually saw that in person.
Oh,
because I follow her on Instagram, and
ouch,
she posted a photo with her and her parents, and yeah, not a good day for the Sorrell family. I'll say that. Actually, it's not the game of the week yet, MF. We got one more before that.
Oh.
7:30 kickoff on the Big Ten Network. The number 24 Michigan State Spartans squaring off against the Indiana Hoosiers at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, Indiana. Brandon Gaudin, Glenn Mason, and Elise Mennick are on the call. Michigan State opening up as 4.5 to 5-point favorites. Indiana quarterback Peyton Ramsey has completed at least 72% of his passes in all 3 games this year. That hasn't translated to explosive gains for the Hoosiers' aerial attack, and the lack of those is a problem opposite Michigan State's 24th ranked defense. But if Indiana successfully attacks MSU downfield, this result could flip. But for the moment, I have Michigan State winning. Close game. Michigan State wins 31-24 over Indiana. MF, sleeper game in the Big 12, in your Big 10. Michigan State 1-1 and Indiana off to a 3-0 start.
Yeah, but the thing is that whenever you play a big game like that, chances are you're not. This is a dangerous game more than anything else. I'm gonna go with Michigan State. I think Indiana. Look, it's a great game. It's a good situation. But here's the thing: now you're going up against the best of the best. And I believe that's going to be the end of the day. And unfortunately for us, I think that's going to be a win for Michigan State. I think they're going to bounce back. So nothing more to say, and that's it. So I got to say that's at least for me, that's going to be the difference. So yeah, Michigan State bounces back, gets a big win over Indiana. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I expect Michigan State to bounce back and win the Indiana. Indiana, I think, could give them some fits, but in the end, I think Michigan State should have no problem. And yeah, there's really nothing more to say. But before we get to the game of the week, we have some breaking news in Thursday Night Football. Hey, the Cleveland Browns finally win a game.
Wow, they did it. What was the score?
They beat the Jets 21-17.
How about that? The Cleveland Browns win a game for the first time since Christmas Eve 2016 against the then San Diego Chargers. How about that? What a moment. So maybe they're turning the corner, Brown fans. They could be turning the corner. We'll see. But we'll get into that tomorrow.
I'll tell you what. They could have won all 3 of those games.
Certainly. But misfortune, which is what the Browns have been known for over the years. So we'll get into it tomorrow night.
Well, no misfortune tonight.
Yes? Okay. So.
Oh, no misfortune tonight.
No misfortune tonight indeed. Now let's move on to the game of the week, gentlemen. Far and away the game of the week right here. And it comes to us from the Pac-12. Not often we say that, but they give us one. Oh, do we have a good one here? 8 o'clock on ABC. The number 7 Stanford Cardinal against the number 20 Oregon Ducks. Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Maria Taylor. They'll be there. Stanford opening up as 2 to 2.5 point favorites. I don't remember. Well, actually, I believe it's MF who's supposed to lead off on this. So Bullock, meet your mic. MF, I believe you.
Oh, I thought it was my turn.
No, I believe it's MF who starts it off. So MF, Stanford, Oregon, the game of the week, and I'm sure Eric Carey has got to be like, oh boy, now we're going to finally get tested.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get tested, all right, and they're going up against a really good Stanford team, no doubt about it. This is going to be a good matchup, good game, definitely a quality matchup to say the very least. And but the thing is, going into Eugene, playing in Oregon, that's a really good thing to have. So that's one of the advantages. Defensively, can they stop the run? Because that's always been the biggest problem. can they go into battle, go into war, whatever you want to say? At the end of the day, I truly believe that it's going to be a big victory here. So I'm calling for the upset. I think Oregon is gonna pull the upset and knock off Stanford. This is gonna be a good game, high scoring game, 38-31. I got Oregon beating Stanford. Sorry. Well, I know I'm probably going to get disagreed on, so I don't care. Whatever. Michael Bullock, go ahead, man. It's yours.
Well, you said Oregon's going to win, right?
Yes.
Wow. I don't even know how the heck to follow what Fletch just said, but I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a good game. I can definitely agree with that. I mean, the Oregon Ducks. They're a team that's basically searching for an identity. That's basically entering the fourth week of the season. So, yeah, they're 3-0, but they're really going to get tested here against the Stanford Cardinal. And yeah, with what I've seen from Stanford, it's tough to go against them. But the thing for Oregon is that they're in the top 10 in rushing defense, rushing touchdowns, and yards per rush. So, yeah, this could be a test for Stanford as well. So it's tough, but I'm sorry, MF. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you. I got to go with Stanford here. So Wario, it's up to you to break the tie. What are you going with?
I got to go with you, Bullock. I'm going with Stanford as well. The performance of Stanford's offensive line against Oregon's defensive line will likely determine this critical Pac-12 battle. Bryce Love will return from his one-game absence, so the Ducks must be prepared for their toughest test of the season. Raucous though Autzen Stadium will be, I'm riding Bryce Love in the running game. I got Stanford. I agree with you, Bullock. My final score, 31-27, Stanford over Oregon, but I would not be surprised if Oregon stole that one. I would not. 2 games left, 8:30 kickoff on Fox. I call this a Michael Fletcher special. This is right up your wheelhouse, MF. This is the Big Ten game of the week right here. The number 18 Wisconsin Badgers squaring off against the Iowa Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa. 8:30 on Fox. Gus Johnson, Joe Klatt, Jenny Taft on the call, and it is Wisconsin opening up as 3-point favorites. We'll get to MF in a minute, but Michael Bullock, we started with you. Iowa has been known to pull major upsets under the lights against big names. A couple of years ago, they did it to your Michigan team, and then last year they nearly did it to Penn State, but Penn State pulled out a miracle win. So, and they're going to be going up against a Wisconsin team that got humiliated at home by BYU.
Yeah, like you basically said, Iowa's been known for winning big games in prime time at their home stadium, and this is going to be another big one here. So, yeah, Wisconsin, like you basically said, they were embarrassed, and they went from being the number 6 team in the nation to number 18. That's a tough one to swallow there. So, yeah, the Iowa, they're off to a really good start. They're with wins over Northern Illinois, Iowa State, and Northern Iowa. And their defense held. They're tied for second in the country in rushing defense, basically holding Iowa State's top running back to only 44 yards rushing. So don't sleep on them. So, yeah, so this is another tough one here. So, but you know what? I'm actually going to pull the trigger. I think Iowa is going to pull off the upset. It's going to be a close one. My final score, Iowa 27 and Wisconsin 24. So, yeah, and it's going to be a celebration in Iowa, and nothing more to say. Flory, what's yours?
Even before BYU stunned Wisconsin, this Big Ten clash spelled trouble for the Badgers. 2 years ago, Iowa upset Michigan under the lights of Kinnick Stadium. Penn State needed a final play touchdown to survive last year. The Hawkeyes can pull off the upset if they stifle Wisconsin star Jonathan Taylor and force quarterback Alex Hornibrook to propel the visitors. It's not often I go for upsets, but in this case, I have to go with it. I agree with you, Bullock. I got Iowa winning as well. My final score, 24-20. I cannot wait to hear what MF has to say about this one, because this is the Big Ten game of the week. MF, this is an MF special right here. Wisconsin, Iowa. Can Iowa pull off another upset under the lights?
I think they can. Yeah, absolutely. I've been listening to you guys, and I really think that with Iowa going in, whenever you play in Ames, this is always dangerous, and especially Wisconsin kind of looks a little vulnerable right now. Iowa going in, this could be the upset, no doubt about it. I can definitely agree with this. Nothing more to say. I agree with you guys. I think Iowa will pull the upset off, and I think they will win. So nothing more to say. Anthony, on to the final game of the week.
Yep.
All right. Last game.
Yes, final game. Or as Chris Rose would always used to say, last one. Yes, and this is the last one. 10:30 on ESPN. The number 10 Washington Huskies at home at Alaska Airlines Field at Husky Stadium. They're going to be hosting the Sun Devils of Arizona State. This one on ESPN. Bob Wischusen, Brock Huard, Allison Williams on the call. Washington opening up at 17.5-point favorites. And during last season's clash, bad red zone offense and missed field goals resulted in a stunning upset by Arizona State. Washington quarterback Jake Browning hasn't played well to begin the campaign, but the Dogs can lean on running back Myles Gaskin to complement yet another excellent effort from their defense. So I got Washington winning this one. My final score, 27-17. MF, Washington at home against Arizona State.
I'm going to go with Washington as well. I got nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree. I got Washington winning this one with no problem, so let's move right along.
And it's powerful time, gentlemen. The week 4 installment of the Power Poll, and it's MF who will be leading it off. So MF, who opens up at number 10 in the MF Power Poll for this week?
You know what? I've been pondering what to do with this power poll and everything else. But I gotta do it, and I can't believe I'm about to do this. But damn it to hell, you've been kicking ass lately. You got yourself into the top 25. You took notice. You've made me realize, and you've got my attention. Normally, I know I would never ever do this because you're not one of the perennial teams. You're not a powerhouse. But damn it to hell, you impressed the piss out of me, and you deserve the spot. Number 10, regardless of what anybody says here, and I know I'm probably going to get a little bit of a disagreement, but frigate, Boston College, welcome to the Power Poll at number 10. 3-0. You guys have played, you've been playing really good football. And, Anthony talked about it earlier being one of the big surprises of the ACC. So why the hell not? Give them the opportunity. Show them the love that they deserve. They deserve to be in it. I know nobody else is going to have the guts or the heart to do it. So let me do it. Let me start the fight, and let me drop gloves and start a little riot in the house. So number 10, Boston College. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually going to agree with Michael Fletcher here. I'm actually going to go with Boston College at number 10. I mean, not many people expected this Boston College team to do what they're doing. To be 3-0 through the first 3 games. They certainly have proven themselves. I know Florio is probably not going to agree with it, but you know what? I'm going to be like Fletch. I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to actually have the nerve and the balls to put Boston College at number 10. If anybody wants to disagree with me, go right ahead. And I know Florio's going to do it, so Florio, just go ahead and put us out of our misery.
Who's Boston College beaten this year? UMass, Holy Cross, and Wake Forest. Okay. All right. That's the first 2 games they won rather handily. They barely got by Wake. They're a great story. Don't get me wrong. They're a great story. I'm so happy for those guys. That's awesome.
Yep, I'm not surprised.
But I know you guys want me to do it, but you know me, I got to be the man who tells it like it is.
No, I know you're not gonna pick them, but last week we kind of shook things up a bit. That kind of was not the norm. So what the hell?
Very true, but let's wait until October 26th when they start a brutal 3-game stretch, a murderer's row 3-game stretch, when they got to play the U, Virginia Tech, and Clemson. If they beat those teams, then I'm convinced. But until they play a superior opponent, look who they got. They got Purdue, they got Temple, NC State, Louisville, no Lamar Jackson, no problem. Those are the next 4. I can see them winning the next 4 rather handily. But once they get to the U, good luck. But 2 of those 3 games will be at home. So maybe there's a chance. You never know. And then you got Florida State. They're on the downward. But watch out for. But then again, Syracuse, that's at home. So who knows? This could be a magical year for BC. So we'll see. But as impressed as I am with them, I got to go with West Virginia at number 10. The Mountaineers, the cancellation of the NC State game impacts Will Greer's Heisman chances. K-State is next. So nothing more to say on that. So let's move on to number 9. I got Stanford. Stanford comes in as my number 9. We didn't learn much in a 20-point win over UC Davis. Bryce Love was rested to heal injuries. The schedule gets much tougher with consecutive games at Oregon and Notre Dame before they return home against Utah. So nothing more to say there. West Virginia's 10, Stanford's 9. MF, let's move on to you.
All right. Stanford at 9. I could give you that, but I'm actually gonna give Stanford. I'm gonna actually put Stanford a little higher, not much higher, just a little higher. My number 9, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. They're right there. They've done pretty well, so I'm not gonna go too much on that. So my number 9 is Oklahoma State. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I gotta go with Oklahoma State as my number 9 as well. So there's nothing more to say. Fletch, you lead off.
Number 8, this is where I have Stanford. I think, Anthony, you are absolutely right. I think what you've been doing is spot on. I got really nothing bad to say here. So for me, this one's pretty easy for me. So my number 8, this is where I have Stanford. Bullet, go.
Yeah, I got Stanford as my number 8 as well. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So Florio, it's yours.
It's my team, Notre Dame. Notre Dame comes in at number 8. Are the Irish playoff contenders? Technically, for now, it's an incomplete team offensively that has won its 3 games by 7, 8, and 5 points after slipping by Vanderbilt. So Nothing more to say on that. I expect more of the same on Saturday against Wake. So nothing more to say. Notre Dame goes in at number 8. Moving on to number 7. It's not often I have a losing team in there, but I'm going to give this losing team the benefit of the doubt because they only lost by 1 point. Auburn number 7. I mean, this is what Gus Malzahn gets for part of his $49 million deal. Plenty of criticism after blowing a 21-10 lead at home to LSU. Until further notice, this one will really hurt. An SEC West loss at home. For the time being, these Tigers don't control their division destiny. So I know they probably should not be in the rankings, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they only lost by 1. It was a great game. It was a 5-star game. It was the game of the week, hands down. But nothing more to say. I got Auburn at number 7. I know I'm going to get criticized for it, but it is what it is. So MF, move on.
You know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on Auburn. It was only a 1-point loss, so I'm not gonna punish you with that. And as a matter of fact, in a crazy turn of events or a crazy twist here, I'm actually going to put the 2 teams that battled it out and tie them at number 7. So, yeah, I'm about to do something really stupid here, but oh well. Number 7, tie Auburn and LSU. As you know, you didn't hear me yell out Notre Dame's number yet because I got them higher. But LSU and Auburn played, or I should say, Auburn and LSU played an unbelievable game, a game for the ages, one of the top games of the year so far, and they deserve all the love and the amazing recommendations and everything else. Blah 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 blah. So on to number 6. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Who'd you have as a tie at 7?
Auburn and LSU.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with Auburn and LSU as well. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. I'm just going to give it. I'm just going to give it to you, Florio.
It goes to MF.
Fletch leads it off. Yeah.
Number 6, Notre Dame. Number 6 is Notre Dame. Yes, Anthony, I will allude that you guys have been very good. You guys have played great lately. Close games, close victories, good enough. But, we got to wait and see what happens down the line. But I will say this is going to be a lot more interesting than anything else. And, yeah, we'll go from there. So we'll wait and see what happens. And my number 6, I'm going to say it. I'm gonna call for Notre Dame. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I got the Fighting Irish at number 6 as well. So yeah, there's nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
I very much appreciate where you put Notre Dame, fellas. Very much so, but I don't think they're quite at that level yet. But number 6 for me is Oklahoma. There was a disturbing pattern again with Mike Stoops' defense versus Iowa State. Too many missed tackles, too many defensive backs not turning around to find the ball. Other than that, the Sooners might have the best player in the country again in Kyler Murray. So nothing more to say on that. And as far as LSU goes, I've got them way higher than where you guys have them, honest to goodness. So that's just my opinion. But let's move on to number 5. And for me, it's the Made in Georgia Bulldogs. Justin Fields has 3 incompletions and 2 touchdown passes this season, and backing up 2017 freshman All-America Jake Fromm. Coach Kirby Smart continues to balance an emerging quarterback situation and an emerging dynasty. So nothing more to say. Made in Georgia Bulldogs as my number 5. MF, who you got?
Obviously, I disagree. I got Georgia a lot more higher than where they are. I'm just gonna tip the hand right now. They're in my top 3. My number 5 is the Ohio State Buckeyes. Look, I get it. It was a good win over TCU and everything else, but I'm sorry. I just don't I can't do it. I just don't have any type of reservation or anything like that. So obviously I disagree. So my number 5 is I got Oklahoma. I got Ohio State. Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, I got Ohio State as my number 5 as well. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So I'm just I'm just gonna give it to you, Fletch.
Number 4, this is where I got Oklahoma. Look, I like what I see from Oklahoma. They're doing all right. Yes, there is a little bit of some worry and some whatnot about some other things going on. But I got really nothing more to say about it. So, Bullock, I'll give it to you. Number 4, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, Boomer Sooner. The Oklahoma Sooners are my number 4 as well. So Florio, I give it to you.
My number 4 is Ohio State. Ohio State is my number 4. Dwayne Haskins and Oklahoma's Kyler Murray are the top 2 Heisman contenders after week 3. Haskins is also Ohio State's best quarterback in years. And Ohio State also has the nation's second longest winning streak at 8. So nothing more to say on that. Ohio State is number 4. My number 3 is Clemson. Trevor Lawrence thrived against Georgia Southern after Kelly Bryant left in the first half with an upper body injury. So that's all there is to say on that. So they go up. We'll see what happens with them this weekend when they go up against Georgia Tech. Should be an easy one. So I got Clemson coming in at number 3. So MF, what do you say?
All right, my number 3 is this is where I have Georgia. So my number 3 is the Georgia Bulldogs. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, this is where I got Georgia as well. So nothing more to say. Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2, Clemson Tigers. They just been playing out of their minds lately. I really got nothing more to say about it. So Bullock, I give it to you.
What did you say was number 2?
Clemson.
Yeah, I got Clemson as my number 2 as well. So let's just move right along to Florio.
LSU. LSU is my number 2. How do you not rank them number 2? They've beaten 2 top 10 teams in the U and Auburn in the first 3 weeks of the season away from Baton Rouge. The legend of Joe Burrow grows. So there's nothing more to say. LSU, in my opinion, should be number 2. But number 1, this is a definite agreement on all 3 of us. It's probably going to be our only agreement of the night. Your reigning and defending undisputed national champion Alabama Crimson Tide, once again at number 1. At least the Grove was still hopping after the game. Nick Saban still seems to be punishing Ole Miss for ever employing Hugh Freeze. After the Rebels went ahead 7-0, all the Tide did was score 62 consecutive points. That's all. Nothing more to say. It's Bama at 1. MF, at least this is probably going to be our only agreement of the night right here.
Pretty much. There's no argument with this one. Number 1 is Alabama. They just keep dominating, and there's really nothing more to say about it there. So Bama at 1. Michael Bullock, I'm pretty sure this is going to be unanimous.
Oh yeah, Alabama number 1, no doubt. So Florio, let's just put a bow on it.
And that will put a bow on week 4 of College Football Thursday. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We'll be back right around this time tomorrow night for week 3 of Strictly Sports NFL Friday. Talk about the big win for the Cleveland Browns. They pulled it off tonight, beating the Jets. Big deal. So, let me see. So we'll get into the week 3 matchups, power rankings. We'll see if we can get into those. Off for the weekend, and then we got Ridiculously Raw on Monday, Cerebral Smack Talk, and then next week for College Football Thursday. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for NFL Friday, it's Anthony Floyo here for good old MF Michael Fletcher and Michael Bullock. And in spirit, Didi Woodson and Derek Forever. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Friday. And until NFL Friday tomorrow night, you've been watching Strictly Sports, College Football Thursday, Week 4, right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. Everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Floyo, so long, Bye, everybody. Bye.